Hello! Clearing my throat. Hello, my fellow readers. I, Dark Symphony 777, with another fan fiction reading. As always, a link to the story will be in the description below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell for notifications. Leave a comment in the comment section below. And that's about it. So, I'm going to be reading a story from one of my favorite fan fiction authors of all time. Just laying it out there. And I've been wanting to, and I thought since the last video I did related to Kim Possible was the fannies, I figured, why not do a video talking about probably the Kim Possible fan fiction writer, Starving Lunatic. I mean, I read, sorry about that, I've read a lot of stories, a lot of stories from her. Like, I believe she's written like almost 100 stories. Let me see. I think it's like 94. I believe it's 94 stories. And 94 stories, yeah. And she's written Kim Possible, Inuyasha, Final Fantasy VIII, Naruto, all this. But she's well known as the Kim Possible writer. I mean, she's written a lot of very good Kigo fanfic. Kigo is Kim and Shigo. And I really love her stories. I have nothing bad to say about her. All her stories are, at the very worst, above average. That's how good a she is. That's how good a writer she is. The worst I have to say is above average. And the only thing I have to say about any of her stories is probably the last story of her On a Leash series dragged on a bit too much. But even then, that's like a relatively minor complaint in the grand scheme of things. But this is written on the 10. The reason I'm doing a shorter story of hers instead of a longer story is because look at all these stories I have to read. Look at this is my backlog. After I do this, I gotta get started on reading this one. It's a Pokemon, then Fairy Tale, then wrestling, then 2 Big O stories, then another Kim Possible fan fiction, not written by her. These ones are just recent. Finally ending. There's another Starving Lunatic right here. Another time, another place, which is probably, I believe, is actually up there with among the most reviewed Kim Possible fan fiction. Let me see. Let me just check. So here's the thing. I think at least 2 of her stories are like in the top reviewed Kim Possible fan fictions. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. See right here. The most popular, the most reviewed fanfiction is written by Starving Lunatic. It is reviews 1,000, nearly 1,500, and let's see. Here you go. Starving Lunatic. Captain Kodiak. He was another big one. I think he's actually retired now as writing. Mr. DRP. He was another big one. The only one still, I believe, the only big Kim Possible writer still going on is Starving Lunatic. I read a lot of these here. No, I already read. Let's see. Slayer. No. See, Starving Lunatic. Starving Lunatic. Starving Lunatic. In the first page itself, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories, and there's about 20. I believe each page has like, I think 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. No, it's 25. The fact that she has over a fifth of the entire first page say something for the quality of her work. So the story is written on the 10th, and this story is supposed to celebrate her 15th anniversary. And I think, she's been writing fanfiction for so long. She's actually pretty old. She's been writing since 2005. Just like Atlantic Storm, I believe she actually has written novels, and she doesn't shy away from the fact that, hey, I write fanfiction too, and stuff like that. And I really I think my favorite story of hers would be Another Time, Another Place, because I think that was probably one of the best. Not even the best Kigo fanfic I ever read, but probably one of the most best romance fanfictions I've actually ever read. I think that was a very well done romance story. Hence why, I actually have it right here to do a review of. But that's not going to be for a while, because of everything that's happening in my life right now. So let's get started. So let's read the synopsis. Kim and Shigo are trying to figure out how to spend their anniversary. They're open to advice and they reminisce a little to figure it out. Okay. So it's not even a plot. It's just like a fluff. So it's like a general story. Okay. It's not bad. So folks, I've been writing fanfic for 10 years now. She's actually been writing for about 14 years now because she's still writing stories. So there's that. This was written before the attack on Paris, but Paris is mentioned in the story, so rip to everyone who lost. Okay. I know about the Paris attacks. I do feel sorry for what happened back then, but I can't really do anything because it's past tense. Okay, so written on the 10 years. It had been 10 years. It was just so hard to believe. Most people did not believe they would last 10 minutes, and here they were about to hit 10 years. Even though they never doubted their relationship, it was still amazing to think they had made it 10 years. But this was just the beginning as far as they were concerned. What are you planning on an anniversary? Shigo inquired, flopping down on the sofa. Kim was curled up on one end with a book. Shigo leaned on the opposite end, smiling at Kim. Why? Kim inquired, not even bothering to look up from her book. It was a rare, quiet day, and she planned to spend it enjoying the quiet. It had been far too long since she could just curl up with anything, even Shigo. Because Shigo took a moment to pull Kim's feet into her lap. She began a foot massage without prompting, having been trained over the years to rub Kim's feet when they were nearby. I want to know. No, you want to butt in, Kim replied, which was very true. Olive eyes cut over to Shigo for a moment and then returned to the book. Shigo laughed a little. Well, it's our 10. And it's important I want in on it. I let you in on the 5th. Shigo pointed out, ever since their first anniversary, they had been trading off who could plan what year. Shigo had the odd numbers, having badgered Kim into their first year together. She did grand things like that first year, and they had both been trying to top each other since. Pausing only on the 5th, when Shigo let Kim in a little sense, it seemed like a milestone. This seemed like one too. You did, Kim agreed, eyes still on her book, but there was a small smile on her face now. So, Shigo pressed, hitting a spot in Kim's soul to make her squeal just a little bit. The sound danced across Shigo's nerves. Kim cast Shigo a glance and then went back to her book. So, will I be able to get in on the 15th? Emerald eyes rolled and Shigo snorted. That's not a real milestone. There was that cute smile again. No, but you'll want in on the 25th. I mean, the 20th. Yeah, but you'll want it in on the 25th, Shigo pointed out. Kim shot her a smirk, partially because, well, yeah, she would want in on the 25th. But also because Shigo thought they would last 15 more years. Shigo smiled and then put a pressure point in Kim's right foot, getting a loud moan out of her. The smile grew as Kim arched just a little bit. You want more of that? Shigo inquired. Kim snorted. You know I do. So, what do you have planned? Shigo asked with her. Kim shook her head. I haven't planned much. 10 years of marriage and 2 years of dating before that. It felt like between the two of them, they had done everything under the sun. Hell, in space too. A couple years after defeating Warmanga and Warhawk when the Lordians tried to invade, she and Shigo had been to the moon together, spacewalk, and helped defeat an alien race trying to conquer Earth. She would never forget how Shigo and Ron actually high-fived after they won, starting a very strange a friendship between those two. Oh, you couldn't have put out ideals already, princess. Shigo teased, giving Kim's foot a partially delightful press if her moan went anything. Her back arched a little more, and soon Shigo would have to abandon this conversation in other activities. Right, activities. Quotation marks. Kim sort of course not, it's just, we've done so much, Shigo finished. Kim nodded. Over the years, they had done so much. Beyond the adventures, they also had everyday little things. They got married, obviously, but they also had kids. With that, they did the soccer moms thing. family vacations, and individual special activities with their kids to make sure they would be happy memories and awesome childhoods. We have everything I thought of so far. We actually done already. Every place I like to take you, we've been already and done everything you can do there. We done all the things we both like to do together, Tim sighed. Shigo nodded. She knew that was a little hard for her wife to admit. After all, Kim possibly could do anything. So she should be able to plan an anniversary. And in the past, she had planned some amazing things. Surely, if given enough time, Kim would come up with something. This is true, Shigo agreed, and she caressed the bottom of Kim's foot. So, yes, you can get out on this one, just so we could both come with something we enjoyed together. We could take a cruise and never leave the cabin. Kim sorted again. We've done that. I jumped overboard on day 5, the second time we did it. Right. Oh, wait, I'm getting too into it. You jumped? Shigo echoed and then glared at Kim, squeezing her foot as punishment. You let me think I dropped you the whole time? Kim snickered a bit. I felt so good and I didn't even know. I had to be in the ocean right after I came down from the high. Shigo laughed and shook her head. I love it when I make you come so hard you can't even think straight. This is a T. Okay. I was like, okay, it's getting kind of a little raunchy with the cum thing. Right here. Okay. Kim smiled at her. For a long moment, they were quiet. Kim turned her attention back to her foot. To her book. Wow, I goofed up there. And Shigo just rubbed Kim's feet. Kim broke the silence. Anything special you want to do for this anniversary? The hero asked. Of course I want to do something special. I just don't know what it is. And what that is, we seriously done like everything. We even had lunch at the bottom of the ocean. How do you have lunch at the bottom of the ocean? I want to know that. How do they just go into like a regular beach and it's like, okay, we haven't stopped. Okay, we're about 5 feet underneath the ocean. Okay, let's have lunch. Yum. I'm just guessing. Kim nods to that. One of the many adventures they had together involved being at the bottom of the sea, saving the world, and then being some of the first non-scientists to tour an undersea lab where they had lunch with the scientists they saved. It was a nice time. What do you want to do for our anniversary? Shigo asked curiously. Kim shook her head. Just being with you is always enough. Shigo chuckled. Right, with me while jumping out of a plane. Well, that does make it better, but I like being with you. Kim blew Shigo a playful kiss. I like being with you too. So even if they did not think of anything to do for their very important 10th anniversary, it was not the end of the world or the relationship. They wanted to be together like always. They just did not know what to do with each other for the special time. They looked at each other. They knew they would think of something. They always did. This might just take a little longer than usual. How could one do something new and special when they did everything together already? So, you really don't know what to do for your 10th anniversary? Ron asked, moving around the kitchen of his small restaurant. More like a cafe, but he always got rave reviews for his food, and people were always there as well. She had come to him, seeking help on ideas for her anniversary. He could listen to work, which he did. Kim sighed. We've been to like every city and done everything. I'm actually tired of seeing Paris. Kim grimaced. Wow, if two lovers can enjoy Paris, it's bad. You really done everything you can do in Paris? Sighing again, Kim ran her head through her hair. Seen all the sights, done everything we'd like to do, and all that stuff. That makes sense for you both. I can only imagine what's on your bucket list. Kim remarked with a laugh. Kim scoffed. Bucket list? She hoped he did not seriously think she or Shigo had one of those. Hell, if Shigo did have one, it probably only had one thing on it. Lie naked on a beach. You can always go to a nudist beach. I believe those exist, right? I do believe nudist beaches are a thing. I think. I don't know where they are, but it's out there. Of course, the only thing on her bucket list would be lie next to Shigo. Has she lost count of how many times they had done both those things? Okay. He gave her a long look. Okay, yeah, you guys don't have those. What did you want to do at Shigo for your anniversary? Sighing, Kim paced the area at the back of the kitchen. She liked to stay out of Ron's way while he worked, even though he had become a pro at working around her and other distractions. He eyed her, waiting for her response. I'm not sure what I want to do. I'm just happy to be with her, Kim replied. Yeah, but you also go crazy if you had to lie on a beach for more than 2 days. Surprised you didn't slit your own throat when she took you to Fiji for a week last year. Ron commented, You do know we have sex when we go away for stuff like that, right? Kim pointed out. Beyond affirming their emotions for each other, it helped to keep her in place for a while. Ron snorted. Unless you have sex constantly, I stand by my statement. Kim opened her mouth, but found she would have actually proven his point. She and Shigo had plenty of sex whenever they want. 1 second. I'm vibrating us. She stays. Where was I? Oh yeah. Kim opened her mouth, but found she would actually proven his point. Oh wait, I already read this. She and Shigo had plenty of sex whenever they went away on trips, but inevitably Shigo would want to sunbathe, and Kim would go off to have an adventure. She would get ski or scuba dive or something like that. She stayed close to Shigo, but she could never just lie there doing nothing for long. Well, I mean, dating a chick, like, I guess a chick, like, it was 10 years your senior, because I believe she goes, like, well, I know Kim's a teenager, and it's implied that she goes, like, in her mid-20s, mid to late 20s, so it's like, she's already 10 years older, plus the fact she has green skin. I mean, yeah, you know. She stayed, hell, she had even gone on brief messages while Shigo drank on a beach. Ron gave her a knowing look. So, yeah, what do you want to do? I was thinking of doing a world tour, but like I said, we've been everywhere and done everything, Kim answered. How long is this world tour? You're taking the kids? I was thinking just 2 weeks. We hit a new city every couple days. My mom and dad have no problem with taking their grandkids, of course. Of course, they'll have to beat Shigo's parents to the punch, but the kids are easy. The actual anniversary is hard, Kim answered. Ron laughed a bit. You're making me happy, me and Yori are so damn bored. Our 10th anniversary shouldn't be this hard. Kim rolled her eyes. Yes, but you're supposed to be helping me right now? Chuckling, Ron turned his attention back to some vegetables that required his knife. He cut without a care in the world. Well, before Shigo decided she wanted in, did you have any ideas beyond the world tour? No, just touring our favorite cities. Maybe having a theme of some kind based on our relationship, like all of our first in those cities or something. Ron paused for a moment. That actually sounds cool. Kim sighed. Yeah, but we've done all those things before. A lot. They actually probably all done all their first 100 times by now. Ron nodded. Well, there has to be something you haven't actually done together. I mean, like when Shigo does her spas, do you ever actually stick around? Uh, Kim shrugged. Sometimes? Well, maybe this time. All the time. Kim nodded. That was a good idea. Shigo would probably like her to stay and enjoy the attentions of the spa. This anniversary should seriously be about them spending time together. They were tolerant when they wanted to do their own thing. It was one of the things that helped them keep them together for so long. But she would like to experience Shigo's favorite things by her side the whole time. Shigo's more than important enough for Kim to slow down a moment and just enjoy the company. Thanks, Ron. Kim kissed his cheek and rushed off, needing to work out a plan to present to Shigo. 10 years, huh? Junior asked with an insufferable smirk on his face, looking at Shigo over his sunglasses. They both sunbathed by his pool. He was on his way to a gorgeous tan, and Shigo just soaked up the rays like always. Yeah, and I still look better than you, she said because of his look. My wife looks better than yours, she added just to be mean. Junior snorted. Please, I thought I just brought a new... Well, that's one way to say why your girlfriend's better. My girlfriend just got implants. Yeah. Her figure puts Kim, starving. I love you. Grammar error. Apostrophe S. Right here. One grammar error. Her figure puts Kim's A cup to shame. As a person who actually likes smaller breasts, I really don't care. He smiled, knowing Kim's bust size was a sore point for the hero. Shigo rolled her eyes. A handful is all that's necessary. The fact that you bought more just means you want a trophy for everyone to admire than a partner to enjoy. Burn! Oh, you want some cream for that burn? Yeah, you want that burn. She would never want someone else to look at Kim, especially like a piece of meat. Junior and Bonnie have a different sort of relationship, though. He made a show of scoffing and then even rolled his head, letting her know he was rolling her eyes. You only said that because you haven't done other things to breast. Trust me, sometimes you need more than a handful. She curled her top lip in disgust. You're gross. Oh, please, I know you're fetishes. Ooh! And I know yours. Oh, double burn! Back-to-back burns! So yeah, you're gross, Chico repeated. And yet you want my help. I don't believe I said that. She would never openly ask Junior for anything, even though he was definitely her best friend, but their relationship was not like Kim and Ron. Shigo knew she and Junior's friendship was much shallower than Kim and Ron's, but it was more because they had not known each other as long. Plus, by the time they had learned to really trust people, they had already met their wives, and those were the people they seriously confided in. Then we will go back to tanning, yes, he said. This time she snorted and did not respond. She could lie there and just wait. He was nosy enough to restart the conversation once he was done trying to be more patient than she was. Hell, she was the one who taught him to have a little bit of patience she had. The little bit of patience she had. So, 10 years, he started, barely 5 minutes later. So his patience is about 5 minutes. I mean, with Senior Junior's character, 5 minutes is more than enough. You said you talked Kim into letting you in on the plans, but you don't have any plans. Yeah, I did say that. How can you not have any plan? How can you not have plans? He asked, as if this was impossible. You have so much money. It was hilarious how he always thought money solved everything. Well, he's a trust fund kid. Basically, if you don't know Kim Possible, Senior Junior is a trust fund kid. He grew up surrounded by his father, Senior, who had all this money. So he grew up thinking money was the answer to everything. And it wasn't until like near the end where he met Bonnie that it's like, oh, there's more to life than money. But even then, he's still like, money solves everything. She never thought money solved all problems, and she had money just as long as he did. Of course, it was not the same amount of money, and her parents had a different method of spoiling her compared to Junior and his father. I've learned money doesn't always translate into an amazing time, especially with Kim. More often than not, we have the best time when money isn't even involved. It had amazed her when she first realized it many years ago because most of her adult life, money had gotten her some good times, but apparently the saying was right. Money did not buy happiness. He gave her a wide-eyed look. What? Shigo just laughed. She was not surprised by his reactions. His money helped keep his relationship together. He and Bonnie liked to live lavish and spend big. He was lucky that he would inherit a fortune that it would take a few lifetimes to diminish. She did not hold it against him or judge his relationship. I like simple things with Kim. Just spending time with her is enough. I like holding her and listening to her breathe, Shigo explained. Aww. She could do that all day if only Kim did not need to move around so damn much. So is this story, is she like hyperactive? It sounds like it. He nodded. Do it out he got with chocolate covered strawberries. I don't know why that made me laugh. I just got a snicker out of that. I don't even know. She thought on it. She knew Junior did not mean his words in any deep or relative meaningful manner, but he had a point. She really did not need to do anything to enjoy her time with Kim. That was a given. This needed to be something from the heart, though. Hold her in every city on Earth, Junior continued. Or hold her in places I dreamed of holding her, Shigo realized. You dreamed of holding her? There are places I used to go and just imagine Kim there with me. Some of those places I stopped going to before I got with Kim. Plus, there are places and cities I still go and haven't taken Kim there because I usually just go there when I'm bored or alone. I'm sure there are places like that for her as well. She knew what she wanted to do. Kim and Shigo cuddled in bed. Kim had to work to finish up while Shigo busied herself with a book. She always read until Kim was ready to go to sleep. Her arm made its way around Kim's shoulders, and she pulled Kim closer without disrupting her work. How's work coming along? Shigo asked. Fine, I'm almost done, Kim answered. Uh, excuse me. I burped. Eyes on her paper. Her pen moves across the top sheet in a fluid motion. How's the organization doing, anyway? Well, we're actually sending even more kids to college and trade schools this year than ever before. Than over before? Starving. Starving. You're a great author. Why are you making these mistakes? Why are you... This is the second mistake I see in your story. You don't... I read a lot of your stories. I read on the Top Line series. I read this story another time on the play. I'm gonna read it again. I read a lot of your stories. You don't make these errors. I don't see you making these errors. I don't see you making these errors in that story. Oh! Than ever before. 2 errors. Kim smiled. I'm really glad you like work. I'm really glad you were able to fund this. Shiko laughed. Anything for you, my dear. She placed a playful peck to the side of Kim's head. Kim basically headed a charity organization devoted to putting kids in education programs beyond high school. Shiko pretty much just gave money to it. Have you thought about our anniversary? Kim asked as she closed the folders in her lap. She put them on the nightstand. I have, Shiko sighed. Have you? Of course I have. So what do you want to do? Chuckling, Kim cuddled closer, wrapping her arm around Shiko's middle. You mean aside from spending time with you? Shiko rested her head on top of Kim's. Well, of course. That's all I really need. I just want to spend time with you and experience you enjoying yourself. I'm here for you through it all. I want to be with you and just experience the things that bring you joy. Shiko smiled. That's what I want to. I want to just be with you. Well, be with me on a world tour for 2 weeks? Sounds good. Who called the kids? Kim laughed, avoiding World War III. My parents got week 1 and your parents get week 2. They have to include each other if the trips are involved. Shiko scoffed. I hope you got that in writing. Damn. Shaking her head, Shiko could not hold in a smile. They'll all be at each other's throat as soon as we're gone. Not that it'll be our problem, so whatever. You're so bad. Her smile transformed into a smirk. Yeah, I know I am. That's how I made a living for a long time. You have any cities picked out? Kim shook her head. I want to pick them with you. I want the cities to be special for us, and I don't want to worry about the fact that we've done everything there. Shiko nodded. I like that. I want to try to do new things with you. Kim eyed her wife with a furrowed brow. I thought we agreed we'd done everything. Another smirk settled on Shiko's face. Please, princess, if 10 years with you and even more years knowing you taught me anything, there's always something new. That's very true. This one sentence, there's always something new. That's very true. Kim arched an eyebrow. This I have to hear. What do you have in mind? Now, where am I? Did I? Oh, okay. I want to share places with you that I chill at, but haven't brought you. Kim's eyes drew in close together and her lips turned downward. That's sweet. Even though it's a little weird that 10 years of marriage, 3 years of dating, and 3 years of being enemies, you still have places you haven't chilled me. So, you show me every place you'd like in the city. Shiko's mouth turned up to one side. That's called a smirk. Kim glanced away as she thought aloud. Yeah, I think I have. I don't have a lot of underground things like you do. Shiko's face did not change. You serious? You think I haven't shown you these places because they're underground? I haven't shown you them due to lack of time. Kim gave her a deadpan look. You're kidding. I'm not. Most of the time we go somewhere, I just don't get the chance. I always want to see what's up with the spas, beaches, or other places to just pamper us both. Not that you ever sit down long enough to be pampered and then you're off somewhere. Kim sighed. I'm sorry. Shiko shook her head and ran her finger through Kim's hair. Don't be. I knew who you were when I married you. I never expect you to sit still for long. Hell, I actually think it's adorable most of the time. Believe it or not, that doesn't make any sense. No, for it being adorable definitely does make it better. Shiko remarked and practically pulled Kim on her. Kim pouted. I don't think it does. I should be able to sit still long enough to spend time with you. Then, let's go on a trip and see if you can sit still. If you can't, it doesn't matter. I like your hyper nature. I wish our kid didn't inherit it, but I like it. Shiko replied, hugging Kim around the waist now. You know that you love chasing kids all over the place. Shiko chuckled. That's what I have you for. Okay, you love watching me chase the kids. Damn right I do. You're all cute. Shiko ran her fingers across Kim's back, pushing up her camisole. So it's settled, Kim asked, hand moving to Shiko's side. She lightly drummed against her wife's ribs. Now we just have to pick the city, and I have to find some place to share. Oh, Kim smiled, and I have to find some oops. I'm sure something will come to you. Yeah, and now I want something to come to me. Shigo put both hands on Kim's ass and pulled her clothes, causing Kim to grind against her thigh. Kim moaned. The first stop was Istanbul. Bring Istanbul. Kim expected a fancy spa to be their destination, but Shigo actually wanted to go to an underground coffee house. There was a live jazz band playing in the dimly lit room. There was a cloud of smoke. No idea where that came from. There was a cloud of smoke on the ceiling, but it did not bother Kim. The couple sat down, Shigo pulling Kim into her lap, and then Shigo ordered them something to drink. The coffee here is amazing, Shigo assured Kim. You sure you want me to have coffee? You know I'll be up all night now, Kim reminded her knife. Shigo, sure. You know I love it when you're up all night, buzzed on coffee. Kim smiled and leaned down, kissing Shigo right on the lips. No one even batted an eye. Sighing, Kim made herself comfortable against Shigo. Shigo set her hand on Kim's slender thigh and just caressed her as the band started a new song. So what do you like about this place? I mean, it's nice. What draws you in? Kim inquired. Well, coffee for one. You'll love it when you taste it, but it's just a nice, mellow atmosphere. Yeah. Shigo replied. Kim nodded. The place seemed to be just Shigo's speed and hit several bits of her personality. Laid back, exclusive, and secret. When the beverages came, Kim added decadent to the list. The coffee was beyond rich. So, what do you do when you come here? Kim asked. What I'm doing now? Shigo asked with a shrug. A chuckle escaped Kim. You don't hold me close when you come here, so I hope you don't have some other girl on your lap while you enjoy nice coffee that will probably keep me up for the next 3 days. Shigo smiled. Okay, that's true. But now that I'm doing it, I want this to be a habit rather than us going to some spa. This really feels nice. It does. Did you know that one of the best things about being with you, Kimmy, is that you're like my own little slice of peace? If I could carry you around in my pocket, I would. Don't say that too loud. You never know what idiot supervillain is listening, Kim remarked. I'm truly surprised Dr. D never thought to do that. No, I'm surprised no supervillain had thought to do that. Kim shook her head. Like I said, don't say that too loud. I don't want to have to go through that old trope. Shigo just pulled Kim closer. She shared a sip of her coffee with Kim, even though she knew what it would do to Kim. Once Kim was done, Shigo put the cup down and ran her hands through Kim's hair. Kim finished her coffee in a gulp, and she settled against Shigo, enjoying the music. We can do this every time we come to Istanbul now, right? Kim requested. Well, if we don't have the kids with us, Shigo reminded her. I can't have all of you hopped up on caffeine. Kim scoffed. You just point us in the direction to the nearest park and tell me not to call you until they're asleep. Shigo smiled. I stay and watch. They're always good for video/blackmail material when they're hyped up on something. Chuckling, Shim leaned against Shigo's chest. They listened to the soft music and enjoyed their drinks. It was really the perfect evening. I can't believe you've been holding out on me with this place, Kim said. Shigo rubbed her shoulder. It wasn't on purpose. I just come here after you leave for missions. It made things easier to miss you. Smiling, Kim pushed herself up just to kiss Shigo. It was a simple exchange, and they did not to try to make anything more of it. They had all night for something like that, but this moment was special and sweet. Like the coffee and the coffee house. Ready to go to the hotel? Shigo asked as they left the coffee house. The night was warm and still fairly young for both of them. Kim hummed and jogged ahead of Shigo, just so she could look at the older woman. Maybe we can go to where I want to take you and then spend the rest of our time here in the hotel room. Shigo smirked. I love the way you think. Kim flashed her big grin. I know you do. Shigo chuckled while Kim just smiled at her. Kim trotted up to her and took her hand. Shigo knew they were about to have an adventure. Kim can only lead a person on an adventure after all. I knew it, Shigo muttered as they descended into the ruined Istanbul. You knew what? Kim asked, still holding Shigo's hand as she led her further down a dark tunnel. You were taking me on some crazy adventure. Never fails with you, Shigo replied. Kim turned around, seeing Shigo smiling. What's life with me with an adventure? That is true, princess. It's not a good thing I wore my boots. It's a good thing I wore my boots. My bad. Kim only laughed. She turned her attention back down the tunnel while keeping a good grip on Shigo. Their own source of light came from Shigo's latest communicator, but it was more than enough. Kim paused for a moment and then dragged them to the left into a different tunnel. Here we go, Kim muttered, undoubtedly speaking to herself. What have I told you about? Shigo chided her. I'm not crazy until I start answering myself. Yeah, well, you do that too. You got the kids doing it. Hey, sometimes I need expert advice. And you talk to yourself for it. Kim chuckled. I can do anything, you know. Shigo managed to hold in a laugh. She did not want to encourage Kim. She did not mind the habit in her wife. It was just the fact that their kids had picked it up, and she feared the teenagers at school would think their kids were mental. Of course, the kids talking to themselves was probably the least crazy thing about them. Here we are, Kim announced as she stopped. Shigo looked around the space as the communicator illuminated the room. It looked like they were in a living room. There were frescoes on a bench by the wall. She turned to Kim. Is this part of an archaeological dig you helped? Shigo stated. It was not a question, never a question. Kim smiled. You and I standing in a room that only 10 other people have been in for about 1,000 years. Shigo had to take a breath to take that in. Kim was sharing a piece of history with her. Of course, it was not the first time and probably would not be the last. This was still something. She pulled Kim close to her. When you find this place, Princess? Shigo nuzzled Kim's neck. A couple months ago, we really shouldn't be down here, but I thought you'd like it. Shigo kissed Kim's neck. You know me well, Princess. This is amazing. Things like this, I only really want to share with you. I know you appreciate it. This and you, it's hard to believe we're standing somewhere. I mean, 1,000 years? Well, a little condo lasts 50 years after we're gone. Shigo were loud. Things like this fascinated her in the sense that it was amazing people could create something that could last for so long. Kim probably did not feel the same sense at all, but for Shigo, the only thing she was certain would her last after her death was her children. They were her legacy to the world, and she was fine with that, especially since she shared that legacy with her beloved wife. Kim laughed. Sometimes I feel like the con won't last 50 seconds when we're all there. Yeah, I know. Still, this is amazing. You're such a nerd, Kim teased. Shigo pretended to reel back in offense. No! The nerd of the family isn't calling me a nerd! Kim snickered. Really? I'm the nerd? We have a kid who writes Star Wars fan fiction, and I'm the nerd? Oh, I like the little dig at the Star Wars fandom. Yeah, it's good fan fiction. I like that little conversation. Someone in our family writes fan fiction calling me the nerd? Yes, but it's good fan fiction. So, I mean, a lot of people call me, pretty much my whole family calls me the weird one because I read fan fiction. Shock and awe. Awe. Oh, the cringe is which one it is. Kim, I love eyes rolled in Kim's cough. You only said that because you're a Star Wars fan, which by definition makes you a nerd. Shigo did not argue that. They were a family of nerds, and that suited her fine. But she was definitely the least nerdy out of them. Of course, she liked in a house with a possible, and their kids lived in the house. Come on, Starving. Come on! 3 errors, right there. There's the third one. Oh! I mean, I'm not a grammar Nazi. Come on! You're one of the best writers to ever base fan fiction. I shouldn't be seeing grammar errors from you, of all people. She lived in a house with a possible, and their kids were very much possibles too. She had a soft spot for possibles, so she did not mind that either. 10 years and you still surprise me with what you can come with on the spot, Shigo said. How about we go back to the hotel and I surprise you even more? Kim suggested, batting her eyes. Shigo smiled. I'm always a fan of the way you think, Princess. Kim kissed her way back up Shigo's body and then stood on top of her. Shigo wrapped her arm around Kim and held her close. They both lay there, quietly kissing whatever parts of each other they could reach. Eventually, they could find each other's mouth and share a tender kiss. Shigo's hand go from Kim's back to their hair, gliding through the orange mane. Kim pulled back just a little. I love you, and I look forward to the next niceties with you, Kim commented. Shigo smiled. I love you too. I look forward to the next 10 years with you. Kim smiled. Just remember, there'll be an adventure. As long as we're together, it'll be fine. Then it'll be fine. Kim kissed Shigo again. They knew what they had ahead of them. It would not be all fun and games, but it would be worth it. They were strong apart, but stronger together. These 10 years had proven that, and they were sure the next 10 would be the same.
And then there's an alternate saying, I hope you enjoy this short trip back in Kigo with me. 10 years and the lunatic still going. I hope you all stay with me and I hope to get 10 more years in. Please, if you like my work, go check out my books available on Amazon under the name S.L. Cassidy. You know what? It's official. I'm gonna check out her books. I'm gonna check out Miss Cassidy's books. Starving Lunatic, expect one-year books to be reviewed in the future, just like I did with Atlantic Storm. So that's my reading of Written on the 10th. I like this story. It's just a shameless fluff romance piece between two characters I really, really loved. When I first saw Kim Possible all the way back when it was first aired, I fell in love with the show. I fell in love with Kim. I fell in love with Shigo. I fell in love with a lot of characters. The only character I really didn't like would have to be the Wardians, because I think they need a story to set themselves up more than anything. I think if we're more foreshadowing and like a little, pretty much like a mini arc dedicated to them, besides like 2 episodes, I think they probably would be remembered better. I know a lot of fans are not really a big fan of them simply because they didn't really contribute anything. But I can safely say they probably would have been remembered more if we had a little more build up to them invading Earth, like at least like about a couple episodes, maybe like half a season of them building up and laying the groundwork for them coming. I think that would have been better. But overall, I think this was a great fluff piece. I have to give it a 4.5 out of 5. I think honestly, I think the only thing that Starving would have added was basically just having them talk to more of their friends. I mean, I guess maybe, I don't know, that one's more wishful thinking. Anything. I have no complaints about the story aside from the grammar errors. I've read plenty. Again, I've read Starving Lunatic's work. I know she's done this. I know she never really leaves a grammar error. So to celebrate, she has a story with 3 grammar errors on her 10th anniversary. I mean, it just feels weird. But overall, I really do love the story. I like the camaraderie. I like the interactions between Kim and Ron and Shigo and Senior Junior. I think it's a very good story. I really love it. It's just more. I wish maybe it would have been a little longer. Or at least do this final conversation all the way down here. After the trip. And like they did like a paragraph or two just telling, just more going into broad detail of what the rest of the trip was like, and then this, maybe that would probably pumped it out to a 5 out of 5. Maybe I could like curve it to a 5 out of 5, but I think 4.5 out of 5 is as good as I think it's gonna get. I could easily see this just being 5 out of 5 if I wanted to. Maybe I'll switch between. I don't know. Maybe if I don't do the 5 and a half, maybe I might go to 5. But overall, I think this is a very good story. It's the kind of quality that I can give to Star Lunatic and say without irony or sarcasm that this is a good piece of work. This is a good story. This is a good short story to celebrate someone's 10 years, and honestly, and hey, Starving Lunatic, maybe, I hope you enjoy 10 more years. You're getting up there with some of the most well-known fan fiction authors ever. You're currently the only Kim Possible long fan fiction writer still kind of writing. And I think aside from like a few outliers like Yoshizilla Rosaurus, you're probably one of the longest lasting fan fiction authors. And if you're going to go another 10 years, I mean, you might be go on your way to like the longest lasting fan fiction author to write stories. And I know this is be kind of weird thing to end this video on, but I would really like to meet Starving Lunatic in person. Just meet her, maybe give her an interview, and maybe I might give me a comment. Should I review Starving Lunatic? I mean, just as like just a one-off thing, because she seems like a really nice person. I know Starving Lunatic is a woman. I have talked to her before, so I have no problem calling Starving Lunatic a she, because I know Starving Lunatic's a she. Um, Maybe pick her brain about why she fell in love with the Kigo thing. Why her ideas on like the Fanny, because I seen some of her stories were actually nominated for the Fannies. Um, another, I honestly wish the only shame I have in any of the Fannies was this story did not win Kigo of the year. But I actually would love. There's very few authors that I would actually like to meet in person, but Starving to take on a very, very small amount. Atlantic Storm's another one, because I think me and him could possibly do something together. Me and him, I've already kind of worked out a deal with Atlantic Storm. Once he gets the rest of the series out, I'm going to be reviewing those immediately. I would like to, I would like to see, uh, I would like to meet SL Cassidy, and just more pick her brain than anything. Every single fan author is different. I mean, and everyone's been praising every author that I let them know about the stories. Every time when I do a review, I let the author of the story know. I say, hey, I did a review. You can look at it or not. It's up to you. Um, but I really, really like to at least pick the brain of Starving Lunatic, because I at least want to know what goes through her mind when how long she's been writing, the fact she's an accomplished author, and everything. And I really do love this story. I love Starving Lunatic. She's one of my favorite authors on the site. I think she's up there with like Mirrored Child, despite the fact I believe Mirrored Child only really has written Deluge. Um, but she seems like a very nice person. She seems like everything. And she has my respect. She is one of the best authors to ever grace fanfiction as a whole. And when she eventually bows out, like there's going to be a day where she's not going to write fanfiction. There's going to be a day, and I probably will make a video like honoring her. I mean, if there was a fan fiction Hall of Fame, she'd be up there. She'd be nominated easily for being probably one of the greatest authors to ever pick fan fiction. I haven't read every single fan fiction, but I will say this: she is one of the best fan fiction authors ever. And just to I would love to just meet her and just do an interview, do a like small interview, and because I want to do something different. I want this channel to grow, and I want a lot of subscribers, but I don't want too many to and people like, oh, I only really review this because it's subscribe because of the thing. I want a fan base. I want my voice to be known among the fan fiction community. That's pretty much my goal. I mean, I want when people think of notable authors in the fan fiction community, they think of Starving Lunatic. They think of Yoshizero Ridosaurus, despite the fact his stories are cringe. But again, it's purposely on cringe. You have over on the My Little Pony community, you have Wanderer D. You have uh what's that big one author that's like really, really well known. I believe he's also an editor. Um, Not Wanderer D. Let me just check this for a second. This is like besides Yoshi and I believe where is it? Where is he? Not Midnight Shadow. just wondered, there's like a bunch of not Sparks. I read his stories. I read some of his stories. He's a really good story. Hidden Brony, there it is. Like Hidden Brony, and I have like all my subscribers are basically fan fiction authors. Chrome, the guy who a friend of the guy who told me to review Chip's Treasure, as his friend, not the author of that one, his friend subscribed to me. There's also the guy who wrote Firestarter, who wrote Poppy's Flight. But they're not really well known. They're not like the guys that even other authors kind of. There's also Winter Ray, Kobold Necromancer from the Total Drama Island. That whole fandom. Those are two very well known authors of the fan fiction there. Because everyone wants to have really honor them. I would actually like to interview those authors too. I might make it a small time thing, like once a month. I review a fan fiction author. I don't know, maybe. But I would like to start with Starving Lunatic because I think, she's been writing probably the longest out of them. I think Kobold is actually retired, actually stopped writing. I know it's like a weird thing to get off. Yeah, it's almost an hour. Yeah, I think Kobold actually stopped writing. Actually, let me do this little quick thing, and then we'll go. Not Jiren. Never mind. I'll just get it out. But my final thoughts on the story. I think Starving Lunatic is a great author. I have absolute respect for what she has done over these years, making some of the greatest Kim Possible fan fictions ever. I will actually be saddened when she eventually retires. I do again want to meet her and everything, and I and I don't know. Stories like this get me all emotional because again, it doesn't really do anything. It's just them already dating, going on anniversary, stuff like that, and I love the story. It's a great story. Sure, it's a short. Certain people may not like the whole idea Kim Possible Shigo idea because they're both women. There are people who are not fans of homosexuality. I figure as long as it's not hurting anyone, you can love who you want. Just as long as it's not some of those weird genders stuff like that. I really don't like that. But it's fine. Now, I don't want to get into politics or everything. I'm not too much into politics, but it's like I don't like the whole 72 genders argument because I think it's dumb. But overall, I really love the story. It is on par with the quality that I expected with Starving Lunatic. And I can't wait to show a review of Another Place, Another Time. Is it Another Place? Yeah, another time, another place. Because that's actually my favorite story she's written. And I can't wait for that. But that's going to be way off. So, this has been Dark Symphony 777. And